So in today's video, I'm going to do a walkthrough, flip through, whatever, of what I consider an oracle deck. And it's Loving Words from Jesus by none other than Doreen Virtue. So, I have so much to say on this subject. First of all, I'm going to give you just a very brief, without divulging too much of stuff that's very personal to me. Just a little bit about myself to know where I'm coming from. When I was 12 years old, I broke up with Jesus. And I broke up with Jesus because a parental figure that I trusted told me that if I didn't go to confession and confess my sins and my deepest, darkest secrets and all this garbage that we're taught as Catholics, that Jesus wouldn't love me anymore. And also because I didn't go to church every Sunday, even though the same family member didn't go to church every Sunday, not even once a month. Anyway, mixed messages, my friends. I think this parental figure was just looking to get me out of the house on Sunday mornings. Anyway, so when this parental figure said to me that, if you don't do these things, if you don't tell this stranger who claims to be representing Jesus on earth, a priest, which as a child for me didn't make sense at all, but that's a story for another day. Everything you did wrong, confess your sins. Already I'm very shy. I know it's bizarre because I'm on video, but I'm on YouTube, but it's not like, it's those of you who are shy or introverted understand what I'm saying. Shy, introverted, very private. I always have been. I made a choice. Well, if Jesus is going to be angry with me, well then we can't be friends. I was 12. Fast forward to just recently, in December 2019, when I was very, very ill with a respiratory illness that may or may not have been COVID-19. That's, it's no way of knowing. After the fact, because it was before, it became globally globally aware of it. I'm certain, and I had said, I think I posted this in a Facebook status at the time, I'm certain someone prayed on my behalf to Jesus because I felt his presence. I mentioned this in other videos, but if this is the first video that you're watching coming to my channel, know by what you see in the background here that this is not a Christian channel. This is not an evangelical channel. This is like so far from it. It's not even Catholic channel. This is my channel is metaphysical. So I'm prepared for comments that are going to be out of context if you don't know me. Just choose your words wisely because I will respond. I'm not going to be deleting any of the comments, but choose your words wisely because I will respond to you. And I will call you out if you decide to leave something hateful or just plain ridiculous as a comment. All right. So those of us who run in the same circles, tarot readers, oracle readers, psychics, mediums, practitioners of magic, witchcraft, all that stuff. We love those of us who are into cards, we love our tarot and oracle decks. And if you're watching this video, you know who Doreen Virtue is. Excuse me. You know who Doreen Virtue is, and you know that she's no longer part of our tribe. Apparently. This oracle deck, I call it an oracle deck, sat on my wish list for a very long time. Probably since December. I popped it in my wish list. The reason being is that I have a saint kit, and I have Voices of Saints by Los Carabeo, and I have her deck, her Mother Mary deck. I don't remember what it's called. Oh my gosh, terrible. But you know which one I mean. Mary Queen of Angels is on the cover. I have some angel decks and all this stuff. So I work with the spirits that I've always worked with since childhood. And when I was ill and someone prayed on my behalf, I knew that they had prayed to Jesus because I felt his presence. And okay, I'm going to share this part because it was really wild. So when I came out of my bedroom and I was just dragged my body to the living room because I was so sick and so weak and in so much pain. The chest pain was just unbelievable. It was like I was impaled with knives. I went to sit in my living room and our doorbell rang. My husband answered the door and it was just some random person who just had one message to give. Yeah, I just came to tell you Jesus is thinking about you. I remained that day. It touched me. That day I felt that, oh my goodness, I think it's time after almost 40 years to repair this relationship. So I began repairing that relationship. So that's as far as I'm going to go about these cards. So Doreen Virtue writes all this stuff on the internet. She records these videos. I'm out of the devil oracle and tarot game and all this stuff. Yet this is still on. This is like still widely available. Some would argue, well, it's not an oracle deck because she doesn't describe it as an oracle deck. It doesn't say oracle deck on it, and there's no booklet. Please, you be the judge. So why I ended up buying this because I actually was looking for some prayer cards with Jesus on them. And well, you know, I'm pretty limited what I can get where I live, which is nothing at all. Or just like, you know, there's like only one or two to choose from and I already have them. The artwork on this deck reminds me of the books that my Zia Suora, who my father's sister, that was Mother Superior in Ostia, which is just adjacent to Rome. She would send me these books with these beautiful illustrations in them, and sometimes they were like, you know, periodical magazines with these beautiful illustrations in them. And this is what the art reminds me of. And at the same time, when I saw a walkthrough of these cards on YouTube, the images, they just made me think of my mom. It's like, you know, it's set on my wish list because if my mom was still living, I would have bought these for her as a gift, right? And you've been watching me for 5 minutes. You know I miss my mom, like any one of you who's lost their mom. I've been grieving mine since I was a little kid because first was mental illness and then, you know, she died in 2012. To me, that's still quite recent. It's 8 years ago, just this past May, and for me, it's still very recent in my heart. But anyway, so when I looked at these cards and when I saw the walkthrough, I thought, oh my God, my mom would love these cards, because my mom had a great sense of humor. So I'm going to tell you, there's cards that I don't know if I didn't clue in. So there's the card, the reason I got it is this card right here. Because seeing Jesus at the table eating makes my little Italian heart happy. You know, I'll see this and I say, oh my goodness, I could just picture this in Nonna's kitchen, minus the, you know, the wording on the bottom. Just this as a print in Nonna's kitchen, where Nonna is having pizza with Jesus. Oh my God. Okay, stop. Side note. Where I grew up, one of the most adorable things that I heard from people's nonnas, and I'm talking, these are people that were born in the late 1800s, early 1900s. So these are like, you know, these people are no longer If they're living, they're 120 years old, is what I'm trying to say. How it was so prevalent in my Italian neighborhood for people's nonnas to say things like, "Ma, Jesus was Italian," which is freaking cute. At the same time, oh my God, does Jesus ever predate Italy? Italy didn't even exist. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that because I find that really cute. Ma Gesù era italiano. Or Gesù è italiano. Oh my God, stop it. Okay, cuteness. All right, let's talk about these cards. So this is the card that made me get the deck. And I thought, oh my God, if that is the only card that I like, doesn't matter. But then I was surprised because when I got the deck, and remember I just told you the abbreviated version of my story with my breakup with Jesus and now, rebuilding that relationship. The little girl in this card looks exactly like I did at that age, down to the little green dress and the haircut. So it's really personal. All right. So I'm going to do a little review of this. The images, and even her, in the back cover, she says that she took the gospel verses from King James Bible, which is one that I grew up with as well. It was given to me by someone who I loved very dearly and loved me, but they're gone now. But she changed the language to make it more modern, so people wouldn't be confused because they wouldn't know who thy and thou and whatever. Don't care. I got these for the images, for the artwork, and for how I know my mom would have loved them. So these are the backs. So I'll do the flip through, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about something that has been on my mind since I got these cards. So I think this makes a great oracle. I asked a few questions. The image in the card answered them. So these are oracle cards, my friends. So if you love Jesus, if you come from a folk magic background, where whether it's Mexican, Italian, Cuban, Haitian, any of these backgrounds that have the Roman Catholic influence, and you work with Jesus, it's excellent. It's excellent for healing, because Jesus was a healer. So it was, I asked, when I shuffled the deck, and I asked a few questions, and they were all healing related, and the answers were spot on. So as an oracle deck, used in the context of healing, fabulous oracle deck. If this is your vibe. Of course, if you're pagan, this is probably not going to, or if you have like trauma from your upbringing. Now, I'm someone who would qualify as having trauma because I just told you my story. Don't go to confession, and Jesus doesn't love you anymore, so. But anyway, I digress. So if, I didn't do that whole trigger warning. Obviously, if you're going to see the title of this video. If you're watching and you're triggered, I'm sorry, but you saw the title of this video. Now, I saw most recent review of this deck that I saw. I can't remember who it was. They just wanted to come on and trash the fact that, Jesus looks white, he looks European, he looks all this stuff. Well, yeah, he looks white and European in all the old art too. I find that in some of these images, he does look Middle Eastern to me, but that's been my experience of, men from the Middle East that I've known, who not all of them are, the same, right? They're diverse, just like anywhere else. Again, a lot of this art, not a lot of the art style just reminds me of those books Maitsia was sending me, and the magazines with images of Jesus in them. So there's that whole healing the childhood kind of situation going on here, or healing the childhood experience, or healing the inner child thing. Those of you who practice folk magic, where you use psalms and Bible verses in your witchcraft, these could be helpful too. They're very helpful for meditation. So as an oracle deck, meditation deck, prayer deck. This is one of the ones I love. I'm trying to angle it down because, because of glare. They're borderless. So yeah, I was talking to you about the review I saw last night, because I looked up other people's reviews to see what they were saying about this deck. I first saw it on New Age Hipsters channel, Vic's channel, and when she received them, and that's when they landed on my wish list and sat there for ages. So I can't remember who it was, because that person just came on to trash it, which I know. Side note, I posted a video last week early this week of the Chakra Wisdom Oracle, and the creator came on and said, "Oh, it's always wonderful when you go on the internet and you find someone trashing your work." I didn't trash your work, but the person who did the review I saw for these, she trashed it royally. I'm sorry, I find it funny. But had I seen her review, sooner, I would have ordered these sooner, because the reasons she trashed it were exactly what I like about them. Okay. So I was going to. Oh. All right. So if you're on my, you're watching this video and you're thinking to yourself, I don't know. This started out as a tarot channel. She talks about magic. Now she's showing me her Loving Words from Jesus deck. Is a testimony coming? No. Because I'm not an all or nothing person. And this is what I want to talk about. Ever since I can remember, you see on the internet people who leave Christianity to become pagan, people who leave paganism and witchcraft and Wicca and tarot cards and everything to become evangelical Christians or fundamentalist Christians. For me, there's never been a conflict. Never. So I'm not suddenly going to come on and say, "Oh, I found Jesus and tarot cards are evil." If anything, this is healing me, because it's a part of my past. It's a part of my upbringing that has been fractured for almost 40 years. It's healing to me. It's making me love what I do even more, because it's healing for me. So that's all I'm going to say. The people who are all or nothing, I don't relate to them, because I'm not all or nothing. I'm all or all. But I will say something. The people who leave their organized religion, whether it be um, Judeo-Christian or Muslim or, the big religions, and they leave those to become pagan because they were harmed by the religion. They were harmed by the people, not the religion. The religion didn't harm you. The people harmed you. Just like I was mildly harmed, other people were harmed not so mildly. But also, the other way around, when people are into tarot cards, they're tarot readers, they're brilliant tarot readers, they charge money, they helped so many people doing public readings. Big channels that everyone was tuning into to see their tarot card flip throughs, and big personalities like Doreen Virtue. There's only one thing that makes people turn back to evangelical Christianity, a fundamental Christianity, and it's fear. And because it's a box. These types of religions are boxes created by men to keep other men contained. And when the world is scary, and when we're feeling afraid and we're feeling groundless, we want to climb into a box and shut the lid to be safe. And that's what the appeal is. So those of you who are saying there, well, I don't understand. How does someone go from being new age to, fear? That's what it is. They need it. They want the nice, snug, dark little box to crawl into where everything is set out for them. There are rules to the game. They follow the rules, they will stay safe. That's where this comes from. If you follow the rules, you'll stay safe. Religion, organized religion was created by man, was not created by God, no matter what your priest or pastor or whomever tells you, your religious leader tells you. It was not created by God. It was created by man to control other men. It's created by men to control other men, women, and children. So, there you have it. So this was my flip through and my little chit chat about the loving words. I can't even remember that. Loving words from Jesus. I don't know if I'm going to keep the box. I think these are nice just the way they are. I have a gold organza bag that'll suit them just fine. It'll go with my, with my saint kit that where I have my other sacramentals and stuff that I use for Italian folk magic. For me, it's just, it's like coming home, and it's like reconciling. It's like reconciling with an old friend or a relative, or it's like reconciling with your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, after 40 years of estrangement. And it's funny because just in my own personal life, there are people I'm estranged from, or actually estranged me, merely by who my parents were, just because they've decided that I'm on the wrong side by blood. They don't even know me. So here we are. All right. Loving Words from Jesus by Doreen Virtue, an excellent oracle deck, if this is your vibe. Take care and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.